The 12 interconnected causes and conditions is one of the fundamental teachings of Buddhism, explaining that all phenomena are interconnected and dependent on each other, with nothing existing independently. Thich Minh Tue is a living example of this principle. His presence today is not random, but a result of the causes and conditions over many lifetimes. He has said that he has practiced for many lifetimes and currently continues his practice with the desire to attain ultimate enlightenment. His actions and accumulated virtues have led him to the present moment. Each cause and condition, each virtuous action, contributes to the creation of Thich Minh Tue, a respected practitioner and a source of inspiration for many. His journey is not just the effort of one lifetime but a chain of interconnected lifetimes, each an essential link in the 12 interconnected causes and conditions cycle. Through deep understanding and persistent practice, Thich Minh Tue has demonstrated the cycles and connections of life's elements, helping us realize that nothing happens by chance but results from past good deeds. To understand the theory of 12 interconnected causes and conditions, one must first understand its 12 links: ignorance, formations, consciousness, name and form, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling, craving, grasping, becoming, birth, and aging and death. The 12 interconnected causes and conditions start with ignorance. When one lacks the proper understanding, intentional actions are performed based on deluded thoughts. These actions, called formations, lead to the arising of consciousness, carrying with it the karma that causes consequences in the present life and influences future lifetimes. This karma exists as a potentiality in the individual's consciousness. When a life ends, this consciousness seeks a place for rebirth. This consciousness combines with name and form, the body and mind, to form the next life, marking the beginning of a new existence. Along with name and form comes the 6 sense bases, the stage where the senses begin to operate, interact with the external world, and create perception. Name and form and the 6 senses bases interact continually. Name and form provides the conditions for the 6 senses bases to develop, leading to contact, the process of the senses coming into contact with objects, creating feelings and reactions. When the senses come into contact with objects, it is called contact. Contact gives rise to feeling, the sensation formed from this contact, such as pleasure or displeasure. For example, when seeing a beautiful flower, contact creates the sensation of pleasure, and feeling is the pleasure felt. This feeling of liking leads to craving, desire, and attachment. As likes become more robust, they lead to grasping, clinging to what one likes, resulting in becoming, a state of clinging and binding that traps us in the cycle of birth and death. Through grasping, there is becoming, the birth of a new life with the constraints of karma from previous lifetimes and the beginning of the journey of a new life. From there, we go through stages of development, maturation, and eventually aging. Finally, life ends in death. This is the journey of a human life from birth to aging and death. Death is not the end, but the beginning of a new cycle. Becoming, birth, aging, and death are inseparable stages in the 12 interconnected causes and conditions chain. They demonstrate the impermanence of life. Karma and attachments from past lives lead a being into a new life, starting again with becoming and birth. This is the cycle of life. Each life has a beginning and an end. After death, the process begins anew with a new life. Like a cycle, this cycle continues endlessly. One can only escape the cycle of birth and death through practice and spiritual transformation, letting go of attachments. Consciousness determines the goals of life and the choice of profession for each individual. Consciousness has 4 options: material, intellectual, karmic, and emotional. If consciousness focuses on a particular factor, one's life will reflect that factor. Thich Minh Tue illustrates this with an example. If you are an outstanding student, you can choose where to study. Conversely, your choices will be limited if you are a poor student. This proves that Thich Minh Tue was once a dedicated practitioner, excelling in many past lifetimes, so in this life, he chooses to continue his spiritual path and will continue until he attains liberation. In his current life, Thich Minh Tue continues to spread high spiritual values and peace to everyone. He often shares that every action, big or small, impacts our future. What we do today will be the causes and conditions for tomorrow. He encourages everyone to live a meaningful and awakened life, always striving for goodness and sowing seeds of kindness. Thich Minh Tue has become a shining icon of spiritual practice and compassion. His teachings impart knowledge of Buddhist teachings and encourage people to practice kindness, patience, and persistence on the path of spiritual cultivation. He emphasizes that the path to enlightenment is not easy but a challenging journey. However, we can attain enlightenment and liberation with perseverance and steadfast faith. His journey is a living testimony to these values. From the early days of his practice, he has continuously worked on himself, not just in one lifetime but through many lifetimes, with determination and unwavering will. The actions and virtues accumulated through each lifetime have led him to his current position, becoming an endless source of inspiration for those seeking enlightenment and liberation on the path of the Buddha's teachings.